Next, we have our student speaker. It is indeed an honor and a privilege to introduce this speaker. He was selected for this program especially because of who he is and what he represents. He is a U.S. Marine Corps veteran, and during his active duty, he served in Iraq 3 times. Not once, 3 times. He is currently president of the MCC Student Veterans Organization and recently attended the SVA conference in Washington, D.C., during which he received his leadership certification and boosted the MCC Club to nationwide chapter status. Please help me welcome Marine Corps veteran Christopher Bode.
Thank you, Jerry. And thank you all for joining us and supporting United States veterans. On this Veterans Salute Day, let us remember the service of our veterans, and let us renew our national promise to fulfill our sacred obligation to our veterans and their families who have sacrificed so much so that we can live free. This year marks the 99th anniversary of Armistice Day. Armistice Day originated on November 11th, 1919, as the first anniversary for the end of World War I. In 1938, Congress passed a law to mark this date to be an annual observance. This annual observance is known as Veterans Day. This year also marks the 80th anniversary for Veterans Day. So with that, happy 80th anniversary to my brothers and sisters to the left and right of me. On Veterans Day, we pay tribute to all American veterans, living or not, but especially we give thanks to those who served our country honorably during wartime or during peacetime. The military men and women who proudly raised their hand and swore the oath to protect the United States of America against all enemies come from all walks of life. They are parents, children, grandparents, friends, neighbors, and co-workers. For anyone who's seen a photo of a young soldier with a look in their eyes indicating they have seen far too much so early in their life, with a 1,000-yard stare, you then know the true meaning of sacrifice and the true cost of our freedom. Did you know that 16.1 million living veterans served during at least one war? 2 million veterans are women, and of the 16 million Americans who served during World War II, about 558,000 are still alive. As a young 19-year-old, I was filling out my will and power of attorney. Most everyone else I went to high school with was filling out college applications. I had no idea what I was getting myself into, but I volunteered to sacrifice it all for my brothers and sisters. To be honest, my first deployment, I elected to solely go because my closest brother and best friend had raised his hand to volunteer, and I followed suit. His willingness to step forward is what I cherish the most about him. Upon receiving our orders for our deployment, we discovered that we were being sent to Fallujah, Iraq for the takeover of Fallujah. 2 months through our deployment, my closest brother and best friend was killed by indirect fire simply by walking back from the chow hall. His passing helped me gain the compassion I have today, and the fact that I have lost nearly 30 friends who were in service with me, 13 of them by suicide, made me who I am today. It has allowed me to be as selfless and caring as I can be, to give everything to any person in need. What has military service done for me was a question asked of me recently. I would say that my military service has given me this self-esteem, courage, and most of all, confidence that I can achieve literally anything. And the fact that I'm doing a public speaking thing proves that, because I'm not a public speaker. But I leave you with a quote from General George Washington. The willingness with which our young people are likely to serve in any war, no matter how justified, shall be directly proportional to how they perceive the veterans of earlier wars were treated and appreciated by their nation. George Washington.